Bill McIntosh teaches AI non-stop. Success is his game, marketing's his fame. McIntosh, the marketing ace, follow his lead to the winning place with AI and a clever spin. Join him now, learn to win. Learn his way, don't delay. If you do, you'll make your fortune today.
Hey there, and welcome to the show. I'm glad you're with me. Of course, this is Bill McIntosh, and I'm the guy who's here to help you with your journey as an entrepreneur. So whether you are a new entrepreneur, perhaps starting your first business online, or you might be a seasoned veteran and you're looking for ways to grow your business to highest ever income and profits, and that's what this show is all about. And of course, I've been doing this for over 2 decades, building and growing 7-figure businesses. I've been able to generate over $100 million in revenue with all of those different businesses over the years. And now I bring my hard-won experience and everything that has gone into that success, and I bring it to this show every week to help you, because now that's my mission in life, is to help as many entrepreneurs as possible to achieve highest ever success after success. And that's what we're going to do today. So I want to welcome you to the show. Give me a big old hello in the chat if you are here with me live, and let's make sure that we have kicked off. Everybody sees me and hears me, and I'll check into the chat and make sure. Give me a big hello in that chat if you do see me, or give me a howdy. That'll work too. And there we go. Okay, I'm seeing the hellos. There we go. All right, fantastic. Always got to check, because, you know, technology often tries to not work for us, right? When it can go wrong, it seems like it does. So I'm glad we're here live. And by the way, if you are not yet a channel subscriber, we've been working hard to grow this channel, starting from nothing, building it up over the last several months to grow here. And we're about to hit a milestone of 7,000 subscribers. We're coming up on it. We're very, very close. And so if getting content like this, where we'll help you with generating traffic, help you with money making, strategies, any kind of tactics that you need to build and grow a business, if that's content that you're interested in, then you'll want to like this video, number one, and two, you'll want to subscribe to the channel and become part of our community. We have a really cool community of customers and people from all over the world joining us on these shows. And so I hope you join us for that. I've got some really cool stuff planned for the community very, very soon, but we're closing in on 7,000 subs, and I'd love to hit that goal. So if you would like that content, give the channel a subscribe. Awesome. So today on the show, we're going to be covering 3 topics. So I've got 3 bits of training that we're going to do. I'll be doing together with you live, plus we'll be doing interactive Q&A on this. And the 3 things that we're going to cover is, number one, we're going to talk about newsletters. So, you know, I'm a huge fan of actually having a newsletter, and you can use a newsletter as that could be your entire business. Talk about a cool side hustle, just having a newsletter that you send out useful content to people through email, and you make money. It's an awesome business model, but it's also a great thing to add to an existing business if you don't yet have a newsletter for yourself. So we're going to talk today about 7 different ways that you can make money with a very simple email newsletter. And it's so much easier than you might expect. So we're going to cover that. That's our first segment of the day. Then we're going to also be getting into a couple of other things. We're going to talk another thing about email, which is all about cold email. And the cold email is, how do you actually contact somebody? And this is different than spam, and I'll explain this later, but this is, how do you contact somebody that you do not have a relationship with and turn them into a customer using email? This is especially good if you're like bootstrapping and just getting started with a business. And we'll talk about what kind of businesses this works for, how you use it, and how to actually make sure that you don't get in trouble by doing it wrong. So we're going to be covering that as our other segment today. And then we have got, where did it go? I'm having issues with my notes here. How can I forget? So at the beginning of the show, you saw a little musical intro, right? And that song was created with a very early stage of AI, it's called text-to-music AI. And there's a brand new kid on the block in the world of music and AI. And we're going to show you how. Right now it's free. So I'm going to show you a tool where you can make professional quality, like really high quality, way better than even you saw that show intro that we just did. And I'll walk you through what the service is, how you use it. And right now it's free. And you can come away with some really amazing, it's fun to use. Like it's just fun to mess around and make songs, but also it's profitable. So you can use these as backtracks for video. Like if you want really professional quality tracks to run behind videos that you're making, maybe you want music, professional sounding music for ads, or you want to do little branding things like that example of our show intro. All of this can be done, and it can be done for free, and I'll show you how to use it. And with this new tool, it is just leagues beyond anything else on the market. And it's now you can make it, it sounds like music you're listening to on the radio, real professional quality. So I'll show you how to do that. That's rounding up for segment number 3. So that's our agenda for today. And then, of course, the new tradition here on the show, before we dive into the content, I always have to ask ChatGPT for a good dad joke. And here's what we got today. Ready? What do you call fake spaghetti? An impasta. Oh, all right. I don't know if that's a good one or not. So we still never got the sound effects, producer Nick. You got to have like crickets or like the little drum beat, you know?
Yeah.
Or you could, yeah. So how do you rate that one? What's your rating?
Weak.
That's a weak one. Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where does it land?
Like a 3.
Oh, okay. We'll come back with another one. We'll get ChatGPT to tell us another dad joke a bit later in the show. But we're good to go. I got my content juice ready and deployed. So final drink here, and we're going to get into our first segment, which is a good one. Okay, cool. One little thing, I got to do a plug before we start with the newsletter segment, and that is I have special guests coming on tomorrow. We're doing an encore presentation of a traffic masterclass. So it's all about how to get traffic with my number one preferred way to get traffic, especially for new sites or new businesses. And tomorrow night we're holding, actually I don't know what time it's tomorrow. I have to check and see what time it is, but we're holding a special live masterclass. It's an encore of, and I have special guests that joined me to teach you how to get traffic for especially new websites. And producer Nick, do you have that link? Maybe you can pop that in and I don't know if you can pop it in and pin it. You should be able to do that through StreamYard.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Yeah, but cool. So that link, by the way, what is it? Jobcrusher.com. Is it simple traffic?
It's jobcrusher.com/simple traffic.
Jobcrusher.com/simple traffic. So if you could pin that in the chat, and you guys can register there. It's tomorrow. So we'll be doing that. It's an encore we'll be doing live. And if you're interested in a way to get traffic that is loved by Google, helps you establish your authority, helps you establish credibility, and gets you a lot of traffic, then you're going to want to see that for sure. See that in tomorrow's live masterclass. Okay, now we are ready to get on with the content today. And first, we're going to get the teleprompter started. And I got my stuff over here, and I think we're good to go. And so if you haven't been on one of my live shows before, I'm recording this so we can create content out of this. So the segment I'm about to record, you might hear me do retakes. You might hear me make notes for my editor, things like that. But we take this content and we use it in courses and other social media platforms, and we do a lot of stuff with it. So just so you know, if you're here with me live, you'll see me making notes and maybe doing retakes. So that way you know what's going on. And here, we're going to dive right in. Here we go. The big question is, can you make money with an email newsletter? Yeah, you can. Email newsletters are one of my favorite business models, especially because they're so easy to do and so easy to start for a newer marketer. Now, there are a lot of people who are out there making a ton of money. Sometimes it can be a one-person team, just one person, a one-man or one-woman band, and they could be making tons of money. Like the guy I'm about to show you, he hit $100,000 a month with his newsletter, all as a one-man show. Check this out. Let me go over here. Oh, I got to get my screen share going. Let's do that. Should have set that up ahead of time so you guys didn't have to stare at the top of my head. And we're going to go entire screen. And there we go. And share. Okay, cool. So here he is, Alex Garcia, big milestone for Marketing Examined. We crossed $100,000 in ad revenue in February. Briefly celebrating, but not happy until we do $2 million a year in annual recurring revenue. Now think about that. $2 million a year as a one-man band. That is pretty darn cool. Now, he's not the only one. There are a lot of people building super profitable newsletter businesses, and they're all doing it in a variety of ways. There isn't even a one-size-fits-all approach. There are so many ways to actually do email newsletters as a business model or as a money-making strategy that sometimes it's hard to know what strategy to pick and where to get started. In fact, there are dozens of different ways to make money with a newsletter, and they're not all made equally. Now, I've narrowed them down to the top 7 ways to monetize your newsletter. And in this video, I'm going to share them all with you. So if you want to know the top 7 ways to make money with an email newsletter, I got you covered. In fact, one of these methods, just a single one, resulted in a $75 million payday for the guys who founded that newsletter. So stick around and I'll show you exactly how they pulled it off. Let's dive in. All right, little pause here so the editor can tweak this bit. It's pretty exciting stuff. I love the email newsletter business model, by the way. This is just for the live audience. This is something that I'm really, really excited about. And we're doing some experiments ourselves in doing this with producer Nick and I. We're actually having fun with email newsletters. So here we go. Back to the content. And note for editor, you can pick it up from here. Method number 1. Those are called upscribes. Now, an upscribe is when somebody subscribes to your newsletter and then you actually recommend somebody else's newsletter. So think about this. It's a little confusing when you first say it. But the minute someone subscribes to your email newsletter, you can basically show them ads and say, hey, while you're here, I think you might like these other people's newsletters too. And then with a couple of clicks, they can join not just your newsletter, but other newsletters as well. And this is an incredibly profitable thing to do. So you get paid every time you do that. So I've seen people do this where they can actually end up getting free subscribers. They can cover the cost or even more than cover the cost of what it costs to get a new subscriber by doing an upscribe and sharing that subscriber with another newsletter provider. And when you subscribe to those recommended newsletter, you make, it's not a lot of money, but it adds up. So you can make $1, $2, $3. I've even seen as much as $5 per subscriber that you can make every time you refer someone to another newsletter. Now, especially if you're making $2, $3, $4 a subscriber, you can drive traffic and spend money on ads, and you can actually be profitable with that initial click. So if you're spending $2 a subscriber, but you're making $3, well, heck, you're getting paid to build your own email list. Make sense? Now, I love using Beehive's Boost feature to do this for me. Or you can also use, if you're not using Beehive, you can also use a service called Sparkloop. And both of these are tools that I have used and both which I recommend. I'll put links in the video description down below to links to both of those services. There'll be affiliate links, so the channel will get a small commission if you end up signing up over there. But we'll put those down there. But and let's see here. Note for editor, we'll just skip over this section. Okay. I'm going to skip this section. Here we go. Now, this feature might be especially useful for beginners. Someone who's just starting a newsletter, you're on a shoestring budget, you don't have a lot of money to dump into ads while you're figuring it out. Well, you can start out using Upscribes to help keep your costs low. So that way you know that if you're spending a little money to get a subscriber, at least you're getting paid something right out of the gate. And that helps keep your subscriber acquisition cost as low as possible at the beginning. Now, moving on to method number 2, and that is affiliate marketing. Now, you've probably heard of affiliate marketing, and that's when you promote someone else's offer and you get paid a commission if someone buys or signs up for that product. Pretty simple. You promote somebody else's stuff, then you get a hefty commission. I'm a huge fan of doing this, especially if you're a beginner. This is the second most friendly method for a beginner is to find some good affiliate programs related to the topic of your newsletter and simply promote them in the newsletter. Now, promoting affiliate offers to my newsletter list has generated millions and millions of dollars in commissions for me and in my various companies. But because you're a beginner, you don't have to make millions of dollars. You know, like just your first few affiliate campaigns can kind of more than cover the cost to get customers. So if you're not able to at least break even or profit off of Upscribes, certainly by the time you send a few affiliate offers to that list, you can bust into profitability. And the other beautiful thing here is as a beginner, if you don't have your own product or service to sell, this is a great way to at least get started making money. You can later graduate to having your own product or service. But getting started as an affiliate lets you grow your list profitably at the beginning while you build expertise. You learn more about the market, you learn more about what your subscribers want, and then eventually you can launch an offer of your own. Now, you can find affiliate deals to promote on marketplaces like ClickBank, for example. ClickBank is one of my favorite places to go these days, but there are many different affiliate networks that have offers that you can promote. And if you want a list, I have a list of 12 of those marketplaces to be able to find affiliate deals to promote. Then check out the link in the description below. Join our newsletter, and we'll give you that. We'll give you all 12 of the networks that you can go to find offers that are friendly to promote to your email newsletter. That'll be a free gift if you join my free newsletter, link in the description below. Now, that moves us on to method number 3, and that is sponsorships. And everybody is seeking sponsorships. This is the latest thing. They're clamoring to get sponsorships of your newsletter. And once your newsletter audience becomes large enough, and you might be surprised, you don't need hundreds of thousands of subscribers to do this. You can get started with just a few thousand and start getting newsletter sponsors. So this is where you charge brands for kind of like an ad spot inside your email newsletter. So you might have the content that you're sharing with your newsletter subscribers, and then a plug right in the middle of it. It's just a big ad for your sponsor. Now, the larger and the more engaged your audience is, the more you can charge for your sponsorship slots. Now, if you use Beehive, they actually have a built-in ad sponsorship marketplace that makes it really, really easy. In fact, we get offers here at our newsletter to sponsor it almost daily. We're getting new offers for people who want to sponsor that newsletter. And so all I need to do is look at the product or service that they want to sponsor. And if I think it's a good product or service, I click a couple buttons and then boom, they become a sponsor of my newsletter. And Beehive actually handles the whole transaction and pays us for that sponsorship. Now, the amounts vary a lot in terms of what the sponsorship fees might be. This depends on what your niche is, of course, how big your list is, how engaged your audience is. But to get an idea of how much you can make, there's a website called Passion Fruit. I'm going to show it on the screen here. in a minute, but it's passionfruit.me, and fruit is spelled with 2 O's. Again, I'll put a link in the description below so you can see that and go check it out for yourself. But this website helps creators arrange sponsorships with brands. So let's take a look at that. And there we go. The cool thing about this website is that you can use it to spy on other newsletters. You can actually dive in and find out how much they're charging for ad placements to get in front of their audience. So for an example, let's see how much the newsletter AI Tools Report. So we're going to go here. I looked this one up. This is AI Tools Report. Here, I'll zoom in just a little bit. And they give a little bit of information about their newsletter. And if we scroll down, we'll see how much they charge. So they show examples of what their sponsorships look like. And you can see here their pricing. Main sponsorship is $4,000. So they get paid. This is just, now imagine this. They have multiple spots in their newsletters. So they're selling multiple. See here, they have a main sponsorship, a trending tools section, a sponsorship in the middle. And so in one email, here's 2,000, 2,500, and 4,000. So what is that? That is $4,500, $8,500 that they're getting in sponsorship deals for a single email send to their subscribers. Pretty cool, right? So all they got to do is accept the sponsorship and hit send. Now let's take a look at a different one. This is a smaller newsletter. This is called Every. Let's go look at Every's stuff. And let me zoom back in again. So this is a tech newsletter about technology, productivity, and AI. So we'll scroll down here. And you can see this is not quite as large as the other one. But you can see here, they got $1,000 for a sponsorship, $800 for a Sunday Digest sponsorship. And there you go. So there's an example of this. You can also buy a 4-pack to get 4 ad sponsorships for $3,200. And so that gives you an idea. And you can continue on. Just if you go over here to passionfruit.me, and you could do your own research and look and see what other newsletters are charging, and you get some idea of how well you could monetize your newsletter. So, and we'll come back over here. That brings us to method number 4, and that is what's called a premium newsletter. And with this next method, you can launch a premium tier. So you might have a free version of your newsletter, and then you can upsell them into a paid premium version of that very same, excuse me. All right, then we'll retake that. So note for editor, obviously edit that out. And this is where you charge a monthly fee for access to a higher quality version of your newsletter. And this could be something where it's additional information, additional access, maybe some reports or other stuff that you can give that has value, and then you actually charge for it. So when someone joins your free newsletter, you get them to upsell and pay you a little bit. Now, the beauty here is you don't have to charge a lot of money. It can be very, very cheap, and you can make a premium newsletter work really, really well. Now, the way most newsletters launch their premium tier is they wait. They start up their free newsletter, they grow it up to get their free newsletter to a decent size, and then they upgrade and add a premium tier. And we're doing that very thing right now. We're about to offer a premium paid version of our newsletter, but we're waiting for our list to get to a specific size, and then we're going to be doing some surveys and doing some other things to learn what the list wants, and then we begin to offer a premium upgraded version of that newsletter. Now, for example, let's say you could grow a free newsletter up to 5, we'll say 10,000 subscribers. And while it grows to that number, you could still be building the material for that paid newsletter. You could be taking surveys and asking information. You could be looking and seeing what topics people click on the most. And you begin to learn more about what your newsletter subscribers really want. And then when you get to that mark, so let's say you get to 10,000 subscribers, now you launch an email newsletter using what you've learned. So you now know what they need and want, You offer that to them. And then let's just say you convert 1% of those free subscribers, right? So if you built it up to 10,000 free subs, you launch your paid newsletter, just 1%, you'll get 100 paying members. So let's say you're charging $20 a month. You now have a $2,000 a month money stream that you didn't have before. So on top of sponsorships, on top of upscribes, on top of affiliate offers, now every single month you have $2,000 extra dollars coming in the door for your premium newsletter. So let's take a look at an example of how to monetize like this. So we'll pull back up on the screen, and I'm going to show you a link of a site that does this. So let's take a look. So here is a newsletter called trends.vc. And once you have subscribed to their free newsletter, you can come on over here and you can join their pro version. And they're charging an annual fee of $2.99 a year. So that's not the only pricing model. Often what I see is people charging a low-cost monthly fee. And sometimes you can pay to do annual. So depending upon the platform you're using, you might be able to offer like, hey, you can get this for $50 a month, or if you pay annually, you can get it for $2.99 a year. Might be an example, all right? But they're a great example of, it's a really good sales letter. This is like the upgrade, upsell page. Once you've been a free subscriber, this is where you can see lots, and they have a lot of testimonials, which another thing I'm noticing there that I want to share now that I see it on, as I'm noticing it, is that there was a lot of testimonials. So I'm sure before they launched their free newsletter, they got feedback and got testimonials from their free subscribers, and they're going to help use those as examples of why you should upgrade. Okay. Now that's a business newsletter, and they have a free tier with a paid tier that comes with premium reports, a little bit of extra training, and examples like that. So on their site, they say they have over 1,000 users right now. So they're paying either $24 a month or $2.99 annually, okay? So that means, if you do the math, they're making $24,000 a month, absolute minimum, with that premium newsletter, okay? Not bad. Now, the main benefit of having a paid premium newsletter is that you get evergreen recurring revenue streams that come in like clockwork month after month. Now on to number 5, and that is sell a course. Of course, you know I love this method. That's exactly what our flagship software product, PushButton AI, does for you. It will actually build you a course that you can sell to your email newsletter. So of course, I love this method. Now, if you've got an audience, let's say you've got that 10,000 email subscribers. Well, chances are at least a dozen of them would be willing to spend a lot of money to go through a course of yours. Now, think about this. Email newsletter subscribers are hearing from you regularly. You're giving them great content, and if they're still subscribed to your newsletter, they're probably getting value from it. So they're going to be really excited about paying an even higher ticket price for information from you. So now, unlike the premium paid memberships, those are like inexpensive, right? Instead, we can do a high ticket course and offer that to our newsletter subscribers. So you can continue to do the same thing. You get your newsletter subscribers, you learn more about them, you assemble a comprehensive, valuable course that helps solve their problems, helps them achieve their goals. You offer that at a higher ticket price, and now you sell that to your email newsletter subscribers. So let's take Matt McGarry. He has a newsletter about newsletters. Let's take a look at what he did. And I'm going to show the screen again. And earlier this year, he launched a course about newsletters to his list, and he made over $100,000 just from that one-time launch. And his list wasn't very big, only 13,000 subscribers at the time. So he launched to a 13,000 subscriber list and pulled in over $100,000. Now that course was priced at $9.99, which means he only had to convert about 100 customers to be able to hit that. So just 100 out of his 13,000 subscribers. That's actually less than 1%. 0.7% of his free subscribers upgraded and bought that high ticket product and paid him very well. Here we go. On to number 6. Here we go. Newsletters are an awesome acquisition channel for a business. If you have an existing business, adding a free or small paid newsletter to your existing business is an amazing way to generate leads, warm up those leads, and get them excited about buying services and products from you. For example, let's say you're a small business lawyer. You could spin up a newsletter about small business law in your specialty. I've seen many lawyers do this, for example. Maybe if you're an intellectual property specialist, you can make a newsletter about that. Maybe if you're a tax attorney specialist, you can have a newsletter about that. And you'll then get free subscribers. You can monetize that newsletter in all the ways we've talked about. But now you could actually sell them your services. Or let's take, if you're an expert in Facebook ads, you could make a newsletter that's all about Facebook ads and then sell your products or services. Let's say you are an ad agency. You could sell your advertising agency services to that newsletters. I personally think that all businesses should have a newsletter and they should be communicating with their customers through email. The problem is most customers don't want to be sold all the time, right? So a newsletter is perfect because it's always giving value. You're always sending value by email to those newsletter subscribers. And it puts you in front of your customers, your potential clients. So that way, next time they need your product or service, they're going to be thinking of you. So with a newsletter, you're warming up the customers, you're building relationships with them, you're occupying the primary space in their mind, right? So that when they think of the product or service that you sell, you're going to be the go-to expert. This is way different than just spamming them with, buy now, buy now, buy now. Instead, you're giving them valuable content at least once a week. And then when you do have an offer, they're going to be able to buy the products and services that you sell. Rounding into our final method, number 7, and that is you can sell the newsletter. So the newsletter itself is a huge profit center. When you just build it up, you get it monetized. And once you have some predictable revenue coming in, there are marketplaces that you just flip it and sell it for hundreds of thousands or millions, or in some cases, tens of millions of dollars. And this is my favorite way to make big money with a newsletter. It's to sell it. So that's right. This might be a little counterintuitive that you work to build up a profit center. You're getting paid monthly. You have this new profitable newsletter. Why would you sell it? And yes, you did hear me correctly. You want to sell this because you can get a multiple for that business. Meaning, let's say that you have a newsletter that's making $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month. Well, you can turn around and sell it for 36 times to as much as 100 times what your monthly income is. So this means a big payday. Basically, it means a really big payday at the end. So you just sell your entire newsletter business to another company. And it might sound crazy, but this is actually happening all the time. There's an entire marketplace that exists just for flipping and selling and buying email newsletters. And there are people making a lot of money doing this. Now, for example, in 2021, the business newsletter Morning Brew was acquired by the company Business Insider, the business news and content business. They bought Morning Brew for $75 million. Now, they're an exceptional example, obviously, right? They walked away with a $75 million payday, but it goes to show how valuable a newsletter brand can be. So, in fact, we made an entire video about this. We actually show you step by step how to build a newsletter from scratch, grow it up, and then sell it for a big profit. So if you'd like to see that, we'll put a link in the description down below. It goes step by step, how to start, build, grow, and then flip that business for a huge payday. Now, if you liked the content that I've been delivering today, then please do me a favor and give me a like. You'll see down below a link there. Give it a like. That actually tells the YouTube algorithm that this was useful content. That way they share it with others and it helps the channel grow. Speaking of the channel, if you want more content like this on how to build, grow, and make money using digital marketing and AI and modern entrepreneurship, then subscribe to the channel and you'll see again, that is the red button down below. Make sure you hit the bell icon and tell YouTube that you want all the notifications. YouTube is famous for you subscribe to a channel and then they never notify you when new stuff comes out. So you got to hit the bell icon and let them know you want all notifications. And then you'll be part of our community. So we have a community of entrepreneurs that are building, growing, and having successful businesses. That's what the channel's all about. And on that note, we'll see you next time. Bye for now. Okay, live audience, we're still here. That's the end of segment 1. So what I would like to do now is go to you. So I want to have your questions. So if you have questions about monetizing a newsletter or any of the things that you've heard me talk about so far, please ask those in the chat. And we're going to take a very quick commercial break. And I'll be right back to answer your questions. And don't forget, we still have 2 more segments. We're going to talk about how do you use cold email to make a lot of money. And of course, we're going to have some fun making music together with a brand new AI tool that is just absolutely amazing. You'll be blown away. So, but first, we'll do a quick commercial break and then back with your questions. And let me find the right commercial. Here we go. I'll see you in just a minute.
The presidents, celebrities, or characters in this video are all fake and generated by artificial intelligence.
You know, the other day while I was resting my eyes, I woke up to find that I'd built an entire online business.
Really, Joe? How'd you manage to do that?
Well, you see,
Wait a minute, Sleepy Joe. Let me guess. You had PushButton AI do all the work, didn't you?
That's right, Donald. It found me a fantastic domain name, built out a complete site, set up my shopping cart so I can get paid, and even wrote an entire email sales campaign for me, all while I was napping.
Well, I've been using PushButton AI too. And believe me, my new business, it's huge. The best. So much winning, you wouldn't believe.
This PushButton AI sounds phenomenal.
Oh, it is. It's almost as genius as I am.
But with better hair, no doubt.
Guys, all this talk is boring to me. What everyone needs to do is click the link of this video and go to the masterclass to see how to use this powerful technology to build their own profitable online business.
Well, if Elon says it, it must be worth a shot.
You're right, Barry. Everyone should click the link right now.
I can't believe I'm going to agree with Joe, but this masterclass sounds like it's going to be huge. Absolutely terrific. The best masterclass ever given, probably.
Okay, guys, how about we hit that link? Time is money.
All right, and we're back. So thanks to the AI presidents for that heavy endorsement of PushButton AI. Of course, that's not real. But so if you do want that, you can check it out at pushbutton.ai/free class. And it'll go into all the stuff that PushButton AI can do for you. We can even set up a demo so you can get a live demo on Zoom and learn all about how the tool works. And in fact, we have a bunch of customers here in the audience with us now. So it's a pretty amazing tool. Now with that, we're going to go to your questions. So producer Nick, do we have any questions from the audience?
Yeah. This is from Adam, and he says, good call. He's going to ask if the email campaign for PushButton AI is a reasonable substitute for something like MailChimp, and if it can work with Beehive or Passionfruit.
Well, so you could make a course with PushButton AI and then sell it to your email newsletter subscribers. You could do that for sure. And I'm not sure if I completely understood the question, but that would be the way to use it. So Beehive ends up being the service that you use to host and mail your newsletter. And then you would use PushButton AI to be able to create courses and have a website and landing pages for that newsletter business. But they would go, the model goes together great. Yeah. And that's how we're using it. We're combining what we're doing with PushButton with the newsletter, and it's working out great.
Awesome. And then he had a follow-up question. He said, also, what are some useful ways to create proper serialized newsletters?
Well, we actually have some training on the channel about that very topic. Producer Nick, I don't know if you know the link to that handy. I know we have so many videos on the channel, but I do know we've talked about methods of how do you create newsletter content. So I know it's here on the channel, and if you search newsletter on the channel here on YouTube, you'll be able to find it. Or if Nick, if you find the link, you can share it in the chat as well.
Sure. Yeah, we do have a ton of newsletter content. We did not specifically do like a segment on content ideas.
I thought we did one about how to use AI and some other things about how to create newsletter content. I'm pretty sure we've got it on the channel.
Not like a specific video directly focusing on that segment. We could. I feel like that's something we should do if you want to put that in the pipeline.
Okay, yeah, I didn't realize we haven't done that. So yeah, we could do a specific training on how do you make newsletter content. But really quickly to answer your question, there's two types that I really like. One is it's basically a roundup of the news in your niche, right? So there's a constant flood of news and information and updates and releases and product reviews and things that are constantly being churned out from blogs and news channels and influencers. And all you need to do is recap it for your audience each week. You could pick the top stories or the most important product releases and the most valuable content released throughout the week and summarize it. And I'm not saying you don't steal their content. You can quite literally link to it, and your audience would love that. So they love those kind of roundup updates, and you could send that out weekly. You could even do it. I've seen people doing it daily. And that the other method is using AI to actually write newsletter content. So we'll do a more in-depth training on that, which, by the way, the audience with me here, can you tell me in the chat, is that something you'd be interested in? Would you like training, like literally step-by-step, how do you make newsletter content? Maybe we could cover like 2 or 3 different strategies of how you do it and then show you exactly how we would make newsletter content. Let me know in the chat. Just give me a thumbs up or a yes or some sort of excitement if that's content you would like, and then we'll plan that for a future show. Next question.
All right. Well, we had a question from Jamie, and maybe she could use some guidance. She says, I don't understand any of this. I've been here for a month.
Well, when you say you don't understand any of this on the channel with me here, or are you a customer and you're needing some help with PushButton AI, or I need a little more guidance, a little more info, and then I can better answer your question.
Yeah, Jamie, if you could do some follow-up, we'd be happy to, help you there.
And if you're a customer of any of my products and you're, having this issue and you're confused, simply email help@pushbutton.ai. Definitely, please email them, and they will get you exactly the help you need and make sure that you're really clear on what you need to do to use the tools and the products. And again, that's just help@pushbutton.ai. And they'll jump right to it and make sure we help you as best we can. Cool. Next question.
Sure. This is from WTW, and they say, I have a question relating to my course e-builder on PushButton. So that sounds like something that might be able to be directed to help@PushButton.
Okay. Oh, he's just saying he has a question? Then
yeah, he just says he has a question.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you need any help with using the tool, then definitely email help@pushbutton.ai, and they will be the most rapid and efficient way to do it. If it's like strategy or kind of coaching like advice, then you can ask your question here, and I'll do my best to answer it. But if it's like how to use it or some support type of a thing, it's not going to be very effective for me to help you with that on the live show. But if it's for strategy, tactics, things like that, I'll absolutely help you here live. Otherwise, email help@pushbutton.ai.
All right. And so this is from DE Production. They say, Bill, your ideas on how to do a newsletter, layout, how many photos. Can you please show an example of a newsletter?
Yeah, so when we'll do that. Those are great questions. One thing is you don't need any images at all in a newsletter. It can be 100% text. But when we do that segment, we'll actually create a specific segment on how to do a newsletter. We'll show you some examples. We'll show you step by step how to create the content, and we'll do a whole segment on that on a future show.
All right. And Sean wants to know, where can I get the AI tool?
So if you're interested in PushButton AI, where you can basically what it does is it creates an entire course for you, and then you either can charge money for that course, and it'll build your sales pages, your squeeze pages, makes videos, audios, your logo, registers your domain name, and puts your website online for you. So if you're interested in that, the tool is currently in a private invite-only access. But if you want to get a demo and find out if it's something that would be right for you, you can do that. And we may invite you in to be part of our early access program. But to get that demo and to learn more, go to pushbutton.ai/demo. Pretty simple. Pushbutton.ai/demo. And producer Nick, if you could pop that link out. Oh, you already did it. You beat me to it. But you would head there. Make sure you go through the whole process. You'll need to book an appointment in the calendar. So you put your name and email in. You'll see a short video from me that talks about the tool and the value of it. And then on the next page, you book your appointment. Make sure you go all the way through, book your time in the calendar, and then we'll see if it's a good fit to have you be part of the early access program. All right. Next question.
Yeah, Kim says, example of newsletter content and how to would be great. And there's a few other people in the audience who are saying what she's saying there. They like the idea of doing a segment on the content side of a newsletter.
Cool. Yeah, sounds great. We'll do that. We'll plug that in. And then Nick, I don't know what the content lineup looks like. Maybe we can even do it next week.
Yeah, sure. And there seems to be, maybe the audience could help clarify, but there seems to be a mixture of people who want examples. They want to see examples of what other newsletters look like. Mm-hmm. And the other 50% want like tutorials and instructional how to set up the content. So I'm wondering which type of.
Well, I think we could kind of do both. I think we could accomplish both in a single training video. We'll show some, quickly some examples and then show how to make it. I think is how we can do it.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. It looks like on this area, I think we're good to go.
All right. Fantastic. Well, then, speaking of demos, we're going to come back and do another quick commercial break. So I'm going to take a quick break, give my voice another little bit of a rest. We'll be right back in 2 minutes with the next segment, which is all about using cold email to make quick and simple profits. But first, a short commercial break. Those of you who are not yet a PushButton AI customer, then you need to check this out. And all you need to do is go to pushbutton.ai/demo, pushbutton.ai/demo, and you can get a live one-on-one appointment to get on Zoom and see this powerful technology in action. And with PushButton AI, it will build an entire business from bottom to top. Everything you need, from your domain name to your logo to videos to audio lessons, an entire course that you can sell as your own, a 30-day email sequence that it writes. You can send a daily email for 30 days, all written by AI, and a whole lot more. It writes your sales page. If you're not sure how to write an expert sales page to convince people to buy stuff, it writes it for you. It writes a free report that you can give away to get subscribers to your list. It even creates and writes the opt-in subscription page to get people to subscribe to get the free report. And it goes on and on and on. It even writes your first 10 blog posts for you, and it can do so much more. Social media posts, ads, all of these things are done, and all you have to do is answer a couple of questions and push a button. Now, PushButton AI is not available to the public at the time of recording this video, and the only way to get in is by invite to our behind the scenes beta access. And during your live demo, we'll show you the technology. We'll actually work with you to actually map out an entire course that you could sell as your own. We'll outline the course with you together on the one-on-one Zoom call. And then if you so decide, if you're a good fit, you can come in, join our PushButton AI beta program, and be in business with that very course by the next day. Go to pushbutton.ai/demo to figure out if this powerful technology is right for you. You can register there. You'll book an appointment in the calendar. Be sure you show up. Our team will be very excited to meet you and show you how the tech works, outline your new course for you, and hopefully it's a fit and we can work together to launch your next business. All right, and we're back. So see here. It's funny, on my computer over here, the stream quality looks really kind of grainy. Hopefully it's coming through nice and clear for you guys. YouTube streaming is sometimes a little finicky. Okay, well, we're going to move on to the next segment, which is about cold email. As if my teleprompter is going to cooperate. Okay, here we go. And again, just reminder for the audience, I'm recording this, so you might see me do retakes. You might see me make notes for my editors. And I'm going to I got an itch. I'm going to get that out of the way. And then we're going to do your questions at the end. So if you have any questions about the content that we're about to cover, we'll ask those. We'll help you out with those after the segment's done being recorded. And here we go. If you're a beginner and you want cold, we'll try this again. Teleprompter is going too fast for some reason. Let's see. Here we go. Take number 2. If you're a beginner and you want to use cold email to get clients, then you're in the right place, because cold email lead generation is one of my favorite ways to drive new sales, especially if you're an absolute beginner. If you want to grow your business and do it on a budget, then I highly recommend you consider cold email as a go-to strategy. For example, this brand, LeadFuse, used cold email to grow their company to over $30,000 a month in just 12 months. Let me show you that. Go back here. Now, this strategy is amazing because it can work for almost any kind of business out there. And here we're going to go back to the camera. And so note for editor, you can clean this up, obviously. Here we go. Whether you're an accountant, a course seller, a software founder, or any other kind of business that has higher ticket products or products that have a high lifetime customer value, meaning that when you land a new customer, it's really valuable for you, then I strongly believe cold email has a role in every business like that, in every niche market, every kind of business. We're going to dive more into that on what kind of businesses should be using cold email. And so if you're not already doing this, you're missing out on a lot of revenue. So let's get into it. Now, the first thing we need to figure out before we start sending cold email is actually something I don't see a lot of people talking about. So there's people that really advocate sending cold email, and there's a lot of gurus that talk about this, but you have to do your setup right. And that means finding out how many emails you want to send a day and then get your setup correctly from the start. So I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. But first, I want to define more clearly what cold email is, just in case you might not fully understand. So cold email is when you're going to reach out to a targeted list of people. These usually they're companies. So if you're doing services or products for businesses, this works particularly well. So you may have a list of businesses and their email addresses. Well, you're going to reach out in a personal way cold, meaning they didn't previously interact from you. They didn't fill out a form on your website. You went out and you found this list of targeted businesses. And one by one, you're going to email them with a customized invitation to be able to learn, an offer where you can help them with something. Now, this is different than what we'll say is spam. Spam would be you get a massive bulk list and you blast it with a generic message. That is not what we're doing here. This is where you have a way to help that business, and you're going to be reaching out to them cold through email and finding out if it's something that you can help them with. All right, so to start out with, when you're going to use cold email, you need to set up a new domain name. You do not want to use your primary business domain name. So let's say you already have your website, you already have your main business brand. You don't want to use that domain name to do your cold email campaigns. So you can find another domain maybe you've registered in the past, or make a brand new one. So I might make it like, if let's say your brand is, Phone Wizard, I might make a new domain name that's like Get Phone Wizard, or, Start Phone Wizard, or some variation of your brand, and create a separate domain that you're going to be using for this campaign. So you set up the brand new domain. And now, if you did that, and then you just started firing off hundreds or thousands of emails right off the bat, you're going to end up in spam. And you're going to get your whole thing shut down, and you're going to get banned before you see any progress at all. Now, there's a very important series of things that you need to do. You need to get this straight in order to set up your stuff properly before you ever even send your first email. Okay. Now, number one, you want to find out what or how many messages you want to send per day. So let's say you want to, let's say you want to send 300 emails per day out to invite different companies. Okay. So what you're going to want to do is divide that number of emails by 150. So in this case, if I wanted to send 300 emails a day, I would divide that by 150. Well, that's how many domain names you need. So you can't just load up on one domain and blast out thousands and thousands of emails. We need to send about 150 emails per unique domain name that you purchase and set up. Okay. Now, setting up the domain name is easy. You can just go to your favorite domain registrar, whether that's Namecheap, GoDaddy, wherever it is that you might be registering domains, and you just register the domain. Now, if you have old domains that have been registered in the past, you can use them. Just make sure they're not your primary brand domain name, okay? So at this point, you're going to then set up 3 email accounts per domain name. So you'll just go in and buy the GoDaddy services, or buy the services off your domain registrar. Or you can go to Google. Google actually offers email services. And this can be cheap. Some of them are as little as 50 cents a mailbox. Others can be as much as $5, $6, even $7 a mailbox. You just find a service, any old service that will help you have business email. Okay. So you want to set up 3 email inboxes for each of your domain names. All right. Once you've got that set up, then the next step is to warm up those email accounts, warm up those domain names, okay? So think about this. If you just registered a brand new domain name and set up a new email address, and you just start blasting out cold email, places like Google, Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, they don't trust you. They will look at a brand new email, brand new domain name they've never seen before. They will be suspicious, okay, until you prove yourself. So you can actually hire a service to do this for you. Personally, I recommend a service called Warm Up Inbox. And I'll put a link to that into the description below, where you can sign up. It's an affiliate link. We'll get paid a small commission, but you can go to Warm Up Inbox. Sorry, we're going to retake this. So Nick, I can't quite see the email right, the domain right on the. Is it just warm? I guess it is.
Sorry, I don't quite understand.
The link that we're giving out. Oh, it's warm up. For some reason, it's not showing on the screen. Okay, so we're going to retake this. So the service that I recommend If you go through our affiliate link, we'll earn a small commission. And the link for that is pushbutton.ai/warmup. Pushbutton.ai/warmup. And let's take a look. I'll show this on the screen and I'll show you what the service is. Okay, so we're going to get it up on the screen. So here's Warmup Inbox. And what they actually do is that they will stimulate, basically, that your mailbox is legitimate, right? They will email on your behalf and actually help you achieve trust with the different email providers. So what they're going to do is they'll send emails out. They'll respond back to your emails. If they go into spam, they'll move them out of spam. But basically, they make a bunch of engagement and they show a track record of your new domain name and your new email addresses being used. So it will warm them up. And this service is incredibly valuable for a brand new domain, a brand new mailbox. Okay. Now, as I said, this is an affiliate link, but it is the exact same service. I am personally using this service, so I highly recommend it. It's affordable, it works great, and they also have a free 7-day trial that you can find out about. Again, if you go to that link, pushbutton.ai/warmup, and that's where you can go. And you should be able to jump in, get a 7-day trial there. Now, let's see here. Back on screen. You should warm up your emails. Once you've set that up, you'll let that warm up process go for 2 weeks. So for 2 full weeks, do not send any cold emails. Just let the warm up process do its thing, kick up your feet, go off, do something else, and then come back in 2 weeks. And then you can start using these new emails, okay? So once your emails are warmed up, you want to be careful because you can't overwhelm it. You can't set up a brand new thing and then just start blasting out thousands of emails. So you want to start off low and gradually increase your volume. And if you ramp up too quickly, you can end up getting where your emails go into spam. So in the beginning, you should start out just sending 10 emails per day per mailbox, okay? And you're just going to send an email to your prospects. You do no more than 10 emails per day. And we're going to talk about the content of how you write those in just a moment. So we're going to get to that, but this is the setup process here. And then slowly you ramp up. You can get to sending 50 per day per mailbox. Once they're really warm, you're pushing it if you get up to about 100 per day per mailbox. That would be after, say, maybe doing this for a couple of months with good success. But usually start at 10, ramp up to 50 emails per day per mailbox. And then if you need to send more volume, you just register new domain names, set up new email addresses, and expand that way. But I would say cap out at absolute maximum, no more than 100 emails per mailbox. That's 100 cold emails that you're sending per mailbox, okay? So now doing all this technical stuff that we just went over, it's really important. It's easy. It is very easy to do. You don't need to know tech stuff. You just go to the services, buy your domain at GoDaddy or Namecheap, pay for the email add-on services, and do the setup process. It's very simple. It's not hard to do, and it's important that you do this setup right. It's the key to you being successful, okay? So it's just as important as the sequence. So we're going to talk about what do you actually write in the emails and send out to get clients. So it's important, but the setup is just as important as what you actually say in the emails, okay? As I said before, brand new domain names, they're just not trusted by the email service providers. So they're going to be suspicious, and your emails are going to end up in spam. And if you don't do this setup right, you're never going to be successful, okay? So now your setup is complete. Now you need to collect leads. Now there are a number of websites that you can go to what they call scrape leads, okay? I recommend a tool. This is because I bought this business. I currently own this business. It's called Lead Carrot, and you can go to leadcarrot.io. And again, we can pop a link to that down below. That is my business, but I do recommend it. And what it will do is it will help you find businesses that are currently on Google Maps. So if they have a presence, as in the Google My Business profile, they've got a presence in Google Maps, you can find them, and it will get all of their information. It will get their address, their phone number, their email addresses, and all the data you need to be able to do a cold outreach campaign. Okay. Again, that's leadcarrot.io. We'll pop the link in the description down below. And then producer Nick, if you can pop that in for the live audience as well. And then after you've gathered your list of leads, the next thing that you need to do is you need to clean that list up. Okay, so when you have extracted a list like that, what you will find is that there will be email addresses that are like generic boxes that maybe just nobody ever answers. Or they might be email addresses that don't work anymore. They're actually bad email addresses. So now you want to clean them. There's several cleaning services that you can use. Let me show you a few I can talk about here. I use a service called ImpressionWise, but it tends to be for larger volume. Oh, and by the way, here is LeadCarrot. So this is LeadCarrot here. So you can come over to LeadCarrot and you can grab a whole lot of leads in just about any type of business that you would want to find. So if you want to get business leads for use in cold outreach or telemarketing campaigns or for any other purpose, LeadCarrot is great for that. Now, when it comes to email cleaning, here's some services. We've got neverbounce.com is a good example. You got zerobounce.net is another example. We've got emaillistverify.com. And of course, I use a service called ImpressionWise that tends to be for larger volume lists. But there are some examples of where you would go for email list cleaning. All right. So now you have a clean lead list. You've got your email accounts set up. And now we're going to start sending emails. So what do you say? What do you put in your email campaigns? Well, your objective is, again, we're not like blasting shotgun approach to thousands and thousands of people with a generic message and saying, hey, click this link and go buy this thing. Instead, we're going to send emails that is asking them to reply back if they're interested. Okay. So let's say, for an example, I might send an email to a dentist saying, hey, Mr. Dentist, I saw that you do such and such cosmetic surgeries. I would love to help you get leads for your dental business. Reply back and let me know if that's something you're interested in. That's it. You just want to get a reply. You want to reply back. Once they reply, now you can sell to them. Okay. They reply back and see, let's say the dentist comes back and says, yes, I would love more clients like that. Then I could say, awesome, well, let's jump on a call and I'll show you how I can help you. Here's a link to go schedule an appointment, right to my calendar. That might be an example. Or maybe you've got a video sales letter, or you want to get on the phone and call them. But whatever your sales process is, you now follow up with everybody who replies back. Okay. The goal of cold email is not to push out a link and blast everyone with a sales message. You do want to make them an offer. You do want to be very clear that you want to help them and how you can help them personally, but you want to reply. If you blast links out, you're going to end up in spam. And then even if you do get inboxed, most people aren't going to just click on a random link somebody sent me to just go buy something, okay? Instead, let them know concisely and clearly how you can help them personally. So, this is again why I wouldn't scrape like all kinds of random businesses and get lists of all kinds of random people. I want very specific types of people that I know specifically how I can help them, and then I'm going to communicate to that. Okay, so you should know cold email is generally not a good thing if you're selling low ticket, cheap stuff. Okay, this is a strategy for landing high ticket deals. So if when you land a client, you know you're going to make a lot of money from that client, whether it's like immediately they're going to spend $1,000, $2,000, $10,000, or if you know when you land a client, over time you're going to make a substantial amount of money, then this strategy is perfect. Okay, but if you're selling low ticket stuff that has a low value per client, then cold email probably isn't going to be the right solution. Okay. Now, you also need to know that there's one thing that separates cold email from spam. That is personalization. Bulk blasting the same generic email to thousands of people that you don't have a relationship with, that's straight up spam, okay? And that's not good. You don't want to do that, and it's not going to be effective. But if you write tailor-made emails to be personalized to the recipients so that you know how you can personally help each prospect, now you're sending legitimate business communication, okay? There is a difference. So this is what an email sequence might look like. You might start out, generally what I would do is send a 5 email sequence. You can do that over the course of anywhere from 5 to 7 days. And I would start out by making a strong introduction at the beginning and letting them clearly know how you can help them. So you want to introduce whatever problem that they're experiencing that you can help them solve, whatever goals that they want to achieve, how you can help them achieve them. You want to be short, simple, and direct, saying, I can help you with X. In fact, I guarantee that I'm going to do Y. Would you be interested in this? Reply back and let me know. Right? That simple. You don't want to load it full of content. You don't want to make it complicated. You don't want to make it long. Simple, short, direct, and powerful. You want to make it a powerful introduction in terms of how you can help that person. Okay? Email 2, you're going to just follow up on that. Email 3, you follow up again. Email 4, you might now get a little bit more into hard sell. So maybe, for example, if you have a guarantee, maybe the first 3 times you don't talk about it, and then on email 4, maybe there is where you introduce, not only do I know that I can help you get more leads, or I know I can help you with this particular problem, but I guarantee it. Would you like to find out how I would do it? And reply back. And then finally, the 5th one is actually a withdraw. So you're going to say, hey, I've been reaching out. I don't know if I said something wrong or if I offended you, but this is my last email to you. Reply back if you're interested. And then that's it. And the sequence ends after 5 emails. And then then the campaign is done to that one lead. Okay. So you're going to want to send 5 emails like this in that sequence to every single lead on that list. Now, there's a few ways to do this. There are tools that you can set up to help you send mail. You can use outsourced people to actually do this by hand is another way to do it. And one thing I want to tell you is I can't give you an exact template, right? If I gave you a template, then if everybody started using that template, it's going to end up being marked as spam. And besides that, then it really is spam. If I just give everyone, hundreds of people or thousands of people, a template, they're just going to be blasting out to people. That's spam. So you want to personalize your unique offer, your unique situations, how you can help that individual person. And that's really what separates it. And that's what gets your results. So I can't give you a template, but that's the basic overview. Okay. Now, emails that you send out like this are going to look different from one offer to another. Okay. And 1 second here. Okay. Okay. Note for editor, we'll clean that up and we'll go to this. Okay. Now, if you're interested in not a template, but a framework, if you'd like more details on what to put in this email campaign, let me know in the comments down below. So you can pop into those comments and let me know what kind of business you're in, and if you would like more details on how to structure a campaign, how to write a campaign. I'm not going to be able to give you templates that you can copy and paste, but I will give you a framework. If there's enough interest, I'll give you the exact framework on how do you put this together. What do you say? Where do you put it together? You can then also, there are some ways to use AI to do this. I can talk about that as well if there's enough interest. So let me know in the comments down below if that's something you're interested in and what kind of businesses you want to reach out to. And I can make that on a future video. So now, out of all the emails in this sequence, the intro is actually the most important part, okay? Your intro email is what determines whether the prospect's going to pay attention or not. So if you can't grab their attention, then the rest of the sequence is going to kind of miss the mark. So, because I want you to remember something too. Cold email, that means you've never talked to this person before. You've not made contact with them before. This is your first impression. So you need to make sure that you clearly want to help that business and you're sending an email that is specifically relevant to that person and that business. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to just skip all of this. Skip all this. 1 second here while we go past. Okay, bear with me, everyone. I'm gonna just jump through a whole section of this and skip it. Okay. Hold on, I'm just going to. What is that? Okay, I'm going to skip all that. Okay, we're going to shorten this one up. This originally was going to be kind of a long segment, so I'm going to shorten it up. Okay, which, by the way, as I'm going through this, one of the things I want to ask for the live audience that's with me, do you guys prefer, because basically we do segments that end up being about 8 to 10 minutes worth of content in each segment. And that's kind of the target for what I'm targeting for my content. And sometimes I feel like we could pack a lot more information and make it a much longer, sort of like a masterclass style, where it might be like 30 minutes of content on one topic. We could get much more like in detail and in depth. But I worry that is too much, like too long, too much information. In today's like short attention span, quick moving world. And so I'm targeting 8 to 10 minutes is about the amount of content I'm targeting. So I'm just curious of your thoughts on that with the live audience. Do you guys like longer segments that are much more detailed, or do you like the faster paced segments that are 8 to 10 minutes long and you get the important information, but not tons of details? So I'd love to know that. And yeah, give me that feedback in the chat. But all right, cool. So I'm going to finish up here. I'm going to wing the ending of this segment, and then we're going to go to your questions. Okay. So don't remember. We'll start over. Take 2. Don't forget that cold email is all about opening the door, making a big impression so that the person receiving your emails clearly understands that you want to help them, they understand how you can help them, and they understand why they should pay attention to you. You want to get that message, that impact across in these messages. And don't forget, you're not trying to sell them to get them to buy. You don't tell them pricing, you don't tell them features, you don't go into the details. It's just purely, simply, how do you help them? Why should they talk to you? And get them to reply back. So ask an open-ended question and find out if they would like help with what you can help them with. Simple as that. Be direct, be simple, make sure that they clearly understand how you can help them. Then once they've replied, now the sales process can begin, and some of the more marketing can begin. And so after the reply, your unique sales process is what's important. And so some of you might have book a call funnels where you want people to book in your calendar. Some of you might have webinars. Some of you might have video sales letters. Some of you might want to just jump on the phone. So whatever your unique sales process is, now you follow up with that and you can begin doing your selling. Now, a couple of things I want to cover too is as you're doing this, you need to pay attention to what emails are working. You might find out as you're sending emails that the third email in your sequence is doing really well. It always gets replies. Well, you want to zero in and look what's different about email number 3. What is getting you more replies? Is it a different subject line? Is it something you said about your offer? Did you use more personalization? Figure out what you're doing in the emails that are working the best, and then improve your whole sequence by what you learn. Because you will see trends. You will see that one particular email in the sequence is going to do better than the others. And you can learn a lesson from that and improve the whole rest of your campaign. The other thing you want to be watching out for is if you start spam boxing all the time, where you're just not getting into the inbox, you might want to back off and slow down the number of emails that you're sending. Let the warm-up tool kind of re-warm up your domain, or you might want to start spinning up new domains and new mailboxes, because that can change over time. That especially if while you're figuring out what to say in your emails, if you're getting a lot of spam complaints, you will get a lower reputation. You will start showing up in people's junk or their spam boxes. And then you want to reestablish, rewarm that reputation, or start a whole new domain name and just keep on going. And that's really it. So you learn from what works, you pay attention to your performance degrading or you're not inboxing, and you just keep emailing more and more people. And that's how you grow on that front. Now, if you had value from this, I want to ask you for a favor. Tap that like button that you see down below. It sends a signal to YouTube that this content was useful, and they'll show it to other people. It'll help me, it'll help the channel, and I'll be forever grateful for that like. And also, if you're an entrepreneur who wants to grow your business, maybe you're starting your first business or you want to grow your existing business, we do content like this all the time, all throughout the week, every week. If you'd like more of that, then click the subscribe button that you'll see down below. We're building an awesome community of entrepreneurs around this channel, and I can't wait to see you in being part of it. And on that note, I want to thank you for spending some time with me here. We'll see you next time. Bye for now. All right, live audience, we're going to be doing your questions in just a moment. But before we do, we're going to do a very fast commercial break. It gives me a time to rest my voice. I've been losing my voice. I've been on live so much these days that I've been having issues with my throat getting weird. So take a quick commercial break so I can rest my voice, and then I'll be right back to answer all your questions. And don't forget, we're going to make some awesome music together. So we'll make beautiful music together in just a little bit when we come back for the next segment. So we're going to show you music that is amazing, professional quality. You would have thought was recorded in the studio, done by AI in mere moments at the press of a button. And we're going to make some of that music together in just a little bit. And we're back with your questions. But first, this short commercial message. For those of you who are not yet a PushButton AI customer, then
you know you can now launch your own online business with the click of a mouse. Sounds crazy, right? Guess what? It's now possible thanks to our game-changing AI software that's helping beginners build a successful online business. If you have tried and failed at building an online business, or you've got no idea where to start, there is good news for you. We are entering a new exciting era of AI, and I'm here to teach you how to use it to build and grow an online business. Because I'm handing you a blueprint, a business in a box powered by AI, and it's called PushButton AI. Imagine a tool so smart it does all the heavy lifting for you. Builds an info product business, sets up hosting, launches the website, and even crafts engaging email sequences. Here's the thing. This isn't like anything else out there, and this is based on what's working right now. PushButton AI is based on my experience of generating over $100 million over the last 20 years and helping over 81,942 customers build and grow their own online businesses. If you'd like to find out more about this, register now and dive into my free live demo to uncover strategies and traffic tricks that will pivot your business and skyrocket your online business from surviving to thriving. Imagine what your life would look like today if you bought Bitcoin when it was $1. You now have the same opportunity with PushButton AI since nobody else is doing this. Don't miss out this time.
all right, we are back. And I think YouTube is still doing a little ad break, so not everybody's back yet. And I also want to remind you that we have a traffic webinar that we are doing tomorrow with my special guests, Chris Munch and Jay Cruz. We're doing an encore. We were live just the other night, and everybody loved it. So we're going to come back. We're going to be talking about an awesome way to establish authority, make Google really happy with you, and get you a ton of traffic at the same time. So we're going to be covering that in a webinar tomorrow. We'll be live with that tomorrow, and you can register for that. I pinned the the link to that in the chat. So you'll see that it's jobcrusher.com/simple traffic, I think, but you'll see it pinned in the comments. So if you want to attend that and learn more about their unique traffic strategy, they're my guests that are coming on to share that really useful information with you. All right. With that, we're going to do your questions. Producer Nick, what questions do we have?
Yeah, well, first thing on the topic video length, I made a little in the community tab. I made a poll, and you can choose between short videos and long videos. I dropped a link to the community tab on the channel, so if you guys want to go vote in a in a new tab, please let us know. How long do you want our videos to be?
Awesome. Yeah. So you link to that. My production machine just crashed again. This thing is my $1 million crashing machine is just rebooting. So, but at least I'm here still on my broadcast machine. Yes. So you put that in the chat?
I did, and we had a few questions.
All right. So make sure you vote. Go over there and vote. Tell us which you like. Which type of video length do you like best?
Yeah, and FYI for the audience, we're probably right after the segment. We're only covering questions related to the segment. And then at the very end, we're covering all questions, even stuff not related to the segments.
Yep. Yeah, I do on-topic questions for each segment. And then, yeah, at the end of the show, we open it up for whatever you need.
Right. So first things first, Sam, he wants to know, what do you think of HubSpot? And is there any use in using Hubble HTML and Hubble CSS?
I do not use HubSpot. And here, bear with me here. My production machine is about to come back in the studio. Here we go. All right, got it back in there. So I don't use HubSpot. I know that a lot of larger enterprise clients use it. And for example, I have an affiliate who's about to promote me next week who uses it. They have a very large list. I think they have 1 million people on their list. And they use HubSpot and they like it. But I personally have never used it. So it's tough for me to give you any kind of commentary on that, on HubSpot. But I know it tends to be something that larger enterprises use. I know they have some free, like a free version that that you can use, but I think it is somewhat limited. So, but I honestly, I've not used HubSpot. I can't really give a good review of it. Yeah.
Cool. Next thing on the list, a few people were interested in cold email content specifically for software businesses. We had 2 people who were interested in that.
Okay. Cold email for software, for like software as a service businesses. Yeah.
Yes, SaaS.
Okay. Yeah, well, if we come back and do the framework, I can specifically talk about so Nick, maybe we can think that when we do that segment, whenever we come back and do that, we can do a framework on how to how to structure your emails and how to write your emails and give a couple examples. And we could use software companies as an example.
Now, are you talking about because we had attention on doing a segment on newsletter content? Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about something entirely different?
I thought you were talking about the cold. So is it cold email or newsletter?
Cold email.
Yeah. In each one we asked the audience about. So yeah, I was talking about cold email. I'm just saying we could give examples in both separate sets of content. Yeah.
All right. I'm writing these down, by the way. That's why there's a little bit of lag on my end.
Yeah, no worries. So, and we can as soon as we go off the air, we can come back and formalize all that. So, but let's go to the next question.
Yeah, George wants to know, Nick, are you related to Bill? Yes. We're distant cousins. Yeah,
I'm glad to have cousin Nick on the show.
And I'm also looking at just a little bit of feedback in the chat on the video length, and it actually seems people are more interested in the longer stuff. And votes are also coming in on the community poll, and that seems to be the consensus.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, keep on voting in that poll. That will help me quite a bit to learn more about what you guys need and want. I want to provide the best value I can for you, and that's what it's all about. So yeah, definitely vote in that poll and help us out. And Nick and I really are related, but he's not my cousin. So. All right, next question.
Yeah, this is from Adam, and he says, I'll just read what he says verbatim. He says, cold emails to say businesses or sites to join a directory for free. Can that work in order to drive traffic back to that directory and email list? And then he follows up with and affiliate links.
You could use it if you have a business directory and you're trying to get people listed in the directory. That could work, yes. But realize you need to make sure you're monetizing them really well. Okay, so unless you have a strategy to monetize them with upsells, it might be a lot of work. It might not be the right strategy, is my point. But you can do cold email, invite them to get a free listing, and then do a call to upsell them into maybe like a premium sponsorship or something. Or if you have an upsell process that gets them as a premium, like higher ticket sponsorship, that could work really, really well. I really like that model. It could be cold email to a free listing to a high ticket upsell for sponsorship or something. Yeah.
I actually get cold emails for things like that. The Ingeniosity email will get, I've gotten a few emails asking, hey, can we add your newsletter to our newsletter directory or our AI directory? So people do it.
Cool. All right, next question.
Yes. So Sam, from the last show, he remember he wanted to share a prompt with us, and I think we ended the stream before he could share it with us. So he's emailing that to me. So if it comes in, I'll pop it in. But Adam has another question, and I'll read it out loud to you. He says, better handle on integrating into business model or deeper understanding of the nuances of each step. Perhaps a masterclass approach could be edited to shorter snippets for those not interested.
Okay, for content style, really do an in-depth masterclass, but break it into segments. Okay. That's helpful to, we can talk about how we might be able to pull that off. Yeah.
We have a 30-minute video, and then we also chop that up into 3 10-minute videos.
Yeah, I mean, I can see how we could do 3 segments all on one topic. So we break it into chunks, for each piece. Let's chat about that. Maybe that's something we could test.
Yeah. He's giving us good ideas.
Yeah, and thanks everybody for voting in the poll and for your feedback. Yeah, that's useful. If you haven't voted in the poll yet, please go do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and Blake, follow up on an earlier question. He says, better distant cousin than Uncle Fester, is what he says.
Good old Uncle Fester.
Yeah, so that's that on this area. Now it's time to make some music.
Okay, cool. Well, I'd like to lighten the mood. I feel like things got a little too serious. So here, we're going to go for our second ChatGPT dad joke of the day. Ready? So I need some feedback from you, Nick. You can rate the dad joke from 1 to 10. Here we go. Why couldn't the bicycle stand up by itself? It was too tired.
Oh, I like that. That one's better than the first one.
So what would you rate that? 1 to 10 in the dad
5.
joke scale. That's a 5? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. And I'll do one more before we end the show. I'll throw it in somewhere randomly, but yeah, we go. So let's move on. We'll go ahead and go into the next segment. And the next thing is all going to be a fun one. It's going to be all about using a brand new tool. It's a brand new AI tool that literally just came out. It's free right now, which makes it even more awesome. It's free. In fact, it's so popular right at the moment that they're struggling. Their servers are struggling under the load a little bit, but it's pretty cool. And it's one of the funnest things that I like to do with AI tools is making music. I think I annoy my wife with. I make music about the dogs and all kinds of things, and I love to share it with her. I think she just sort of tolerates me and listens and thinks it's awesome. But anyway, we're going to look at that. But beyond just having fun, it is actually a powerful business tool. So think, for example, if you're making video content or ads or other things, you need music, right? You need music to be the track that sits under it. And there are premium services, and there's all kinds of confusing licensing of what music can you use in your ads and what can't you use. It can be very confusing. But now with these AI tools, like the one I'm going to be showing you, you can make professional quality, really good background tracks and music to go under your ads and commercials, to play along with in your live stream. In fact, that's boy, I lost my train of thought there. I was thinking about, well, maybe we should play music on the live show, but I think then it makes it too tough for our editor to edit it, so that won't work. But we do put music as a backtrack on our short form videos, or on our long and short form videos. You have music tracks. And so now you can use AI to make tracks with any feel, any vibe, any kind of sound you would like. In fact, you can even make entire songs that can be part of your branding, like you saw in my show intro. So my show intro was made using the first generation of AI tools with a product called Suno. It was version 1 it was the beta version of Suno when we made that. And Suno has been improving and getting better and better, and it's very impressive. But now there's a new tool, and it's called Udio. And Udio is the one that we're going to talk about today. So let me get my prompter going and get that there and get my screen set up. There is Udio, and hopefully Udio's server. Oh, I need to sign in. I'm not signed in over here. Stand by while I sign in. Don't want to show that on camera, so let me. Oh, shoot, I don't have the password over there. We forgot to log me in. And I think I do I need to be logged in to use it? I think so, right?
Yeah. Do you want to do it off screen real quick?
Well, it's not on. I don't have the password on this computer. So let me see if I can. I'm trying to find it on my other machine, see if it's something that I can. All right. Oh, very simple. Okay, so let's get me logged in. Oh, I'm typing into the wrong computer. Okay. Did that work? It did. Hooray. Okay, I did get logged in. Okay, so we got that set. Get the prompter set, and we're going to be ready to go. Here we go. A brand new AI music generator just sprung onto the scene. And in my opinion, it's even better than the awesome tool called Suno. And the AI tool, I'm going to retake this. Okay. Here we go. There's a brand new AI music making tool on the marketplace. And right now it's free. And in my opinion, it's even better than Suno, which I've been using both for fun and for business quite a lot to make music for ads, for background tracks, for branding purposes. And we've used it to make a lot of money in our businesses. But now there's a new kid on the block that's even better. And the best part about it, it's 100% free to use. And if you've ever wanted to make music with AI, now is the time with Udio. So let me show you what kind of awesome things that Udio can make. Let's take a quick look. Okay, we're going to do a screen share. Oh, where's my screen? There it is. Okay, there we go. And I think I've shared audio correctly, but here are some examples. And it is quite impressive. Some anything from, here we go. Here's a trending one. Let's take a listen. Okay, well, there's music. Did you guys hear that? Is that coming through okay, Nick?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay, great. Let's see here. And the ones I wanted to play are not visible on my screen now, but let's try. Okay, here's a country song. Let's listen to it.
Somewhere inside I'm hollow. I lie awake in the silence so deep, counting the moments where I should have been strong. My cold, empty heart at the bottom of this.
Wow. Well, I'm not sure about the style, but that's pretty incredible. Listen to Cosmic Canine Cruise.
Space dog, space dog, you look so good in your space dog suit. I'm gonna ride you.
That's pretty funny. All right. Now, the point is, you get an example of some of this. And what is amazing about the songs that you just heard is there was literally no human musicians involved at all. And those songs were created in mere moments by AI. And I'm finding that Udio is producing almost studio quality music that is suitable to be used in any kind of professional productions for ads and business purposes that you could imagine. And it's just plain fun to use. And so I've also been seeing people even use it to make stand-up comedy. So let's take a look at that. Oh, actually, I don't think I have that link. Yeah, I don't have that link. Okay. So we'll do a quick retake on that little section. So not only have I seen people using this to make music, they've even used it to make stand-up comedy where you can actually hear the laugh tracks. You can hear the comic on the mic, and he's up there telling jokes. It's pretty amazing. So now let me show you how it works and how you can use it. All right, we'll go back to the screen. It's quite simple, really. You'll see here once you have logged in, and currently with Udio in beta mode, it is free. So I can't say how long it will be free, but right now it is free at the time we record this. And to use it, it's simple. You just log in, create your free account, and then up here, you'll notice this little bar. You just click it. Excuse me. And now we can actually just tell it a little bit about what we want to make, okay? And one of the things that you can do is you can let a lot of it be auto-generated. And you'll notice there are 3 selection things here. You can do instrumental, so it's just music only. You can do custom, where you put your own lyrics in here. And if you do your own lyrics, you actually have some tips over here that they talk about the best practices You want to do lyrics for a 30-second clip. So you actually build these 30 seconds at a time. And you want to do about 8 lines or fewer. And there's some of the other tips that they give here. You can add also little notes as to where there's like a guitar solo or a saxophone solo or other information with these little tags. But let's say, for example, let's say we're going to go back to auto-generated as a starting point. And I'm going to say a blues song about a dog named Roxy who hates taking baths. Okay, we're just doing something silly. We'll say a girl dog named Roxy who hates taking baths, and we're gonna see where is. I said blues, but we'll select the tag there too, and we're gonna hit create. And it's actually creating our tracks. So it's actually going to make a song about my dog. And then I want to show you some of the editing features that come up next. Okay. And so one thing while we're here live, I'll come back on camera. So Udio's servers are under heavy load right now. It looks like it's coming up, but not quite ready yet. But Udio's servers are under heavy load in this beta. They're getting a lot of attention because it's shocking. It's like really surprising. I know when I first started listening to them, I couldn't believe that it was 100% AI, like every aspect of it done by AI, the musical arrangement, all the instruments, and some of it is creative and sounds really good. And it makes me think about like what is ahead for the music world with AI like this. But it's still going. But as an example, I did a song about the show. So we'll do one that'll be maybe if it comes out good enough, we'll make an animated video out of it and turn it into a new show intro. But looks like our first one is done. So let's go back to the screen and we'll see what it came up with for Roxy. Wow. All right, so that's the first one about Roxy. It's called Bathwater Blues. So here's Roxy's Blues Bath. So here we go, another one.
I couldn't get her right. I wouldn't come here. I couldn't make it right. 'Cause bad times she fear. Avoid that water.
All right. So now that we've got these, we can come over here and we can remix them. Like if we want to tweak them a little bit, you can hit remix and you'll see the lyrics here. So you can see the lyrics. We can change up the lyrics. We can also add to the prompt up here to change it up a little bit. And just regenerate a whole new song. Now, the other option we've got is when we come over here, we can say we want to extend it. So to extend, we're going to make it longer. So by default, it gives us 30-second clips. So if we wanted to make a full song that is a few minutes in length, we would hit extend. And now we have a few options. So we can add an intro in front of it. We can add a section in front of it, add a section after it, or we can create an outro at the end. And we actually can continue. And so we could do auto-generated. We can say we're going to add a section after it. And then we're going to hit extend. Now it's actually taking that initial clip and it's extending it to make it longer. So we'll end up with a minute worth of music. And okay, it's still generating, so we'll give it a moment. But at this point, you would go through And whether you are writing your lyrics yourself, you could let Udio write your lyrics for you, or you could go to ChatGPT and work with a chatbot to write your lyrics. Or if you just want background tracks like music that you could use to put under a video, you just select instrumental and you don't need any lyrics at all. And then you can take those and use them for the purposes of your ads or other things for your business. And then just by extending it and adding segments either before or after, you can assemble an entire song this way, which is pretty darn cool. So what we'll do is I'm going to take a shot at doing a show intro. So you guys have seen the show intro that we have before, and I'll play a little clip of it just to remind you. Here, we'll go here. I'll fast forward a little bit.
Bill McIntosh teaches AI non-stop. Success is his game. Marketing's his fame.
So again, that was made using the original beta version of Suno, so quite some time ago. And so I'm going to make a new one. I'm going to let Udio write the lyrics for me, but I'd like to know what genre of music should we make the show theme song. So if it comes out good enough, we'll animate it with, we'll use some different AI video tools and animate it and make it the next show intro. So can you guys vote? Let me know in the chat what kind of, and for the live audience here, what kind of music should I make the show intro? Let's pick a genre, and it can't be death metal. We're not going to do that one again. But yeah, what is your thoughts? Another old timey sounding song, a blues song, R&B, pop, whatever. Give me some ideas of genres of music that you guys might want to hear the show intro in. And then while you're voting, I think my songs are ready. Okay. So we got two versions extended now to a little over a minute in length. So here's the second segment. So that's the extended version of that one. Let's see. So they both, okay, that's the same intro, but let's see if I can't tell a difference on the. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to make our show intro. We'll do that together here. And let's take a look at the votes. So producer Nick, I haven't been able to pay attention to the chat. What do we got going on in there?
Yeah, we have Ken wants us to do funk. Rajat wants us to do trance.
Okay.
DE Production says 50s doo-wop rock and roll.
Ah.
I'm saying
okay.
I like jazz. Heather says adventure. I had the idea. I don't know what keywords you would use for this. I'm not a music guy, but I want to do like a futuristic sci-fi kind of sound because we're all about AI. So like,
yeah,
like 80s.
All right, well, I'm amused. Like, we started out like in the far past. It was like a song from the 20s or 30s and like an old timey thing. So we're going to come forward a little bit. I like the 50s doo-wop. I just want to see. Let's see what it can do. So here, we'll do this together right now, and hopefully we can come up with something that becomes a usable show intro. So we're going to come over here. Let's go back to here. We're going to start with a brand new, a song about a guy named, and I'm going to have to spell my name with an A so that it'll pronounce it right, who helps people make money on the internet by building businesses online. And then style, I'm going to I was going to say 50s. I don't know how you spell it like that. I'm not sure. Let's see if that works. Okay. And this is actually, it's trying to extend our blues one. So let me just refresh this. I don't want to extend the blues one. I want to start over. There we go. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to say auto-generated. So I have no idea what the lyrics are going to be, but let's find out. So we'll create that one and we'll see what kind of fun stuff it comes up with. Now we could, if the lyrics don't come out how we like, I can come in and have ChatGPT write lyrics, because I can chat back and forth with ChatGPT and guide it to make changes to the lyrics. And then I could, instead of doing the automatic, the auto-generated, I can come over here and hit custom and put my own lyrics in. So we'll see how the lyrics come out. And if I have to come back later and add my own, we'll check that out. And one thing, I saw a comment from Adam here about how musicians can use tools like this for like idea generation. They can use the AI to brainstorm and do idea generation. But one thing I thought of too is, how often people are doing samples, right? Like you'll hear on whether it's R&B or rap or other things where they're sampling music from other artists. And instead of having to sample another artist, that you could make your own tracks that you could sample in building a completely new song. So the digital mogul twist. Okay. I like the sound of that. Let's listen to that one.
Spread the word now. Spread the word now. Bill McIntosh, he's an online guru. Hustle leads the way. Well, now let's gonna share.
That's funny. Okay. So that's a digital mogul twist. Here's Bill's cyber beat. Let's try this one.
But Bill's the man, Bill's the man. He's got a plan for the cyber throne. They trust in him to make their penny strong. Bill guides them on. You can't go wrong.
I think I like this one better.
Make stacks, make stacks, make stacks with the skills he's taught along. Yeah.
All right, I think I kind of like that one. But this is fun. I'm going to play with this some more, and we'll see if we can make a 50s doo-wop version of the show. So you just might see that on the next live show for our show intro. We'll see. And again, I know this is sort of silly, sort of fun, but it really does get to profit making, because it helps make some of your work more professional, more polished, because you can't always go make an ad show up on Facebook, for example, make a video ad. But now you can have professional sounding music that goes right on your ad, and you don't have to worry about all the complicated licensing or expensive music production. You just use a tool like Udio, and you actually can sound like a polished, professional, high-end brand. And I think that it really, one of the things that I love about AI is that it's leveling the playing field. And so for businesses that used to not have access to that, right? For a brand new startup on a shoestring budget, wouldn't be able to pay the licensing fees and the stuff to try to hire and do a production to be able to make ads or any kind of branding, music or sounds. And now the playing field is level. And whether it's by making copywriting, professional copywriting within reach from some of the copywriting tools, or whether it's PushButton AI, building courses and setting up businesses within reach, it is really levels the playing field. So those that previously didn't have access to this kind of stuff can now use tools. I think about, for me, building my first business over 20 years ago, right? You can imagine there were no tools that helped you with this stuff. You had to do everything by hand. Building a simple website, my first website, I had to spend a lot of money. I spent a fortune setting up my first website. And now with these tools, it puts this stuff within reach to almost anyone. And so this is just yet another example of that. And I think people get all worried that it's going to disrupt the world and it's going to cost people jobs. And, to some degree, there will be disruption. And yes, there will be changes in the world about jobs and different things. But ultimately, I think AI is a good thing. And I think Udio is an example of when you use it right, it is a powerful tool to help you be a money-making, polished, professional-looking brand. And I want to remind you that if you enjoyed this content, tap that like button that you see down below. It helps us with the YouTube algorithm. And of course, if you want more money-making content about how to build and grow your business on the internet, then make sure you subscribe to the channel. You'll see a link down below for that too. It's a big red button. Click the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell icon when you do it. And on the bell icon, you're going to have choices of how you want to be notified. And YouTube is notorious for not giving you your notifications. So make sure you click that you want all notifications when we publish content like this on our channel. We do it all throughout the week, every week, with lots of stuff that's going to help you get traffic to your site, make more money, or start your first business online. And I can't wait to see you in our next video. We'll see you then. Bye for now. Okay, so I think that's a wrap on our Udio segment. So what I'm going to do next is we're going to throw it open to open questions. We'll take questions about Udio. We'll take questions about anything, any topic you might have that I can help you with your entrepreneurial journey. We'll take a very quick commercial break first, and then we'll be right back with all of your questions. So let me just get the little commercial queued up, and I think we'll go back to the presidents. Yeah, let's hear from the presidents again. I'll see you in just a minute.
The presidents, celebrities, or characters in this video are all fake and generated by artificial intelligence.
The other day while I was resting my eyes, I woke up to find that I'd built an entire online business.
Really, Joe? How'd you manage to do that?
Well, you see,
Wait a minute, Sleepy Joe. Let me guess. You had PushButton AI do all the work, didn't you?
That's right, Donald. It found me a fantastic domain name, built out a complete site, set up my shopping cart so I can get paid, and even wrote an entire email sales campaign for me, all while I was napping.
Well, I've been using PushButton AI too. And believe me, my new business, it's huge. The best. So much winning, you wouldn't believe.
This PushButton AI sounds phenomenal.
Oh, it is. It's almost as genius as I am.
But with better hair, no doubt.
Guys, all this talk is boring to me. What everyone needs to do is click the link of this video and go to the masterclass to see how to use this powerful technology to build their own profitable online business.
Well, if Elon says it, it must be worth a shot.
You're right, Barry. Everyone should click the link right now.
I can't believe I'm going to agree with Joe, but this masterclass sounds like it's going to be huge. Absolutely terrific. The best masterclass ever given, probably.
Okay, guys, how about we hit that link? Time is money.
And we're back. Well, mostly back. So some of you are still in a YouTube ad break. We have just a moment for everybody to come back. And we're going to go to your questions. So producer Nick, what did we have?
No new AMA questions coming in at the very end. I was wading through all of the music suggestions. I didn't find anything.
Yeah, I saw a comment in there about Doctor Who with like I think the theremin, the sound that we could do that, sort of like an old school futuristic sounding song. I'm going to see if I can get it to do something like that. The problem is a lot of these AI tools have, like if let's find out. Actually, let's see if it's going to let me do this, because some of them will block you for copyright reasons. So let's find out, would the tool allow me to ask it to make...
I didn't experiment with this myself, but I was reading, people were saying it doesn't like when you mention copyrighted assets. So, well, I guess we'll see what happens.
Okay, well, we're going to say auto-generated again. And let's see if it's going to give me a Oh, it says it's going to do it. Now, what it's going to sound like, I don't know. I expected it to give me a copyright notice unless it's going to give it to me after the fact.
Oh, did you show the stand-up comedy they made with it?
No, the link is missing, so I didn't get a chance to show it.
Here, I'm gonna drop it in the YouTube chat if you want to pull that up.
Okay. Yeah, let's. You put that in the private chat. Let's see.
No, sorry, I was just grabbing the link real quick.
Okay. All right, and it's still generating, so we'll give that a moment. But I'm going to remind everybody while we're waiting for our Doctor Who song, we'll see how it comes out. Oh, of course, the minute I always come back, it shows up. But so we are in open questions. So if you have any questions about PushButton AI tactics or strategy, maybe if you're a PushButton AI customer, you want to have some feedback and some help on getting traffic. Maybe you have a specific question about copywriting or sales or pricing or anything at all. You can ask those questions now. Of course, if you want to ask about music or any of the other segments from today, you can do that too. But it's now Ask Me Anything, and then we'll be wrapping up the show in just a couple of minutes. But let's go find out how the Doctor Who music is going to come out. We'll see if it's going to sound like it at all.
Hey now, Bill the net star got the skills on net play. Hey now, he's your tech guide. Click to start an upgrade. And all this.
Okay, that doesn't quite sound like Doctor Who.
Bill McIntosh.
Oh.
What?
What the heck is that? That's like some weird futuristic jazz or something. Okay, that didn't quite come out right. So, yeah. Here's one I want to just play for everybody. This is fun. So, who here saw Dune? So, I'm a big fan of the Dune sci-fi series, and of course, I saw both Dune 1 and 2. But somebody actually wrote a Broadway musical about the movie or the book Dune. So for those of you who are fans, you'll appreciate this. But it is amazing.
The greatest leader we've ever seen. They say that he's the listen L-I-E. Eyes bright blue and hair jet black. You should see him ride on a sandworm's back. Lead us to victory, use the whole blue team.
Anyway, so I think it's a little bit of an inside thing. If you're a Dune fan, you probably get a kick out of that. But isn't it amazing, the quality of how it came out, though? And then, of course, here we got one, a Lorem Ipsum song.